Good morning everyone. In this video I'm going to analyze the live price action for EU and DXY to see what opportunities may be available for today. You're going to see my strategy and my analysis, so if you're interested in those then please stick around. Right, starting off here on the daily. What is the daily chart showing us? We have EU on the top, DXY on the bottom. Yesterday we just closed out as a bearish doji, right? Just pretty much a sign of a deceleration. Now if we look closer at the candle, so we didn't reach outside of the previous day's range, so it may look, somewhat rangy on the 4 hour or 1 hour. We still look to be in a premium of this bullish leg, right? And we still have that imbalance with POI order block below towards the discount. Same still stands on DXY, imbalance POI within the premium that price from the discount's possibly going to be attracted to. Now yesterday's price did come up and break the previous daily high, obviously, and reach into this imbalance somewhat, and we just closed out as a bullish doji candle. So clearly no explosive sort of price action, right? We don't have much of a candle body here, right? And price action didn't travel very far. Now going into today, you can see we've opened, candle's very bullish at the moment. We've taken the previous daily high for buy side liquidity, and we're sort of pulling back from that liquidity at this moment. I'm not sure, I don't think we did take the previous daily lows on DXY. It may be equal lows at this time. The candle's still bearish obviously because we're bullish on the EU, but just from analysing the daily, I would still, without looking at the lower time frames, imagine that price would want to come and fill these imbalances somewhat. So I do still see the possibility of further bullish DXY and bearish EU. However, that may change on the lower time frames. We may see something that obviously keeps us bullish, and we may revisit this at a later date. So let's go down to the 4 hour and see what that looks like. So here on the 4 hour, what do we have? Well, we still have our bullish leg. We're still in that premium area. Now we have our draws imbalances below, which is the same as that daily imbalance, of course. And then, as I mentioned yesterday, we did have this imbalance above. Okay, so price pretty much, you can see it did nothing yesterday. This is going to be very corrective on the lower time frame. Right, we didn't take out these lows or anything and continue bearish. We've just slowly pulled back, making bullish price action, but it's not very bullish, it's quite corrective, leaving a trend line quite clearly. So now we have come up and mostly mitigated this imbalance, right, which is what price is rejecting. Previous daily high above these highs for buy side liquidity, and then we've sort of mitigated this imbalance and touched the wick of this possible order block. So I can see this as possibly turning into a resistance here with this imbalance. So given this trend line and corrective price action, maybe we could see the bearish price action come in from here for us to pull back down to a discount. None of this is particularly bullish, which is why the bias that I'm thinking of isn't very bullish either. So for the time being, we'll wait to see if this is going to form a resistance at this point after taking this buy side liquidity. Now if we look at the inverse on DXY, same thing, we've pulled back rather correctively, right? There's nothing special about this price action. Obviously this candle here is quite bearish, but this isn't moving live. So there's possible that this is more of a low test at this point. We have this 4 hour order block and imbalance here that we have now fully filled, right? So that might provide us some support in order to continue going bullish up into the premium into this imbalance here. So those are the possibilities I'm seeing on the 4 hour if price wants to continue with this correction, with this pullback to fill the higher time frame imbalances. So now we're just waiting to see if this resistance and support comes true. So I don't think there's much else to discuss on the 4 hour. So let's go down to the 1 hour and see what that looks like. So here on the 1 hour, a couple things to point out. Obviously we still have that bullish leg here. The low wasn't broken, but we've gone into this weird price action range since then. Okay, so you can see this clear sell side liquidity trend line with all these lows, right? Very corrective price action coming up above the previous daily high into that 4 hour imbalance, and also there's a 1 hour imbalance here that's being rejected. Right, so this for me makes me think bearish price action because the markets like to come for trend lines. On our inverse DXY, we had that bullish leg. We have also pulled back down very correctively, as you can see. We've gone into a 1 hour POI as well. We've made equal lows, which isn't great, but still, if price holds this area and we get a change in structure, then the structure of DXY is still very bullish. Now we do have SMC divergence, which is clear, right? The SMC divergence never seems to stop. So from these lows here to this high low, and from this high to a high high, which shows some strength from DXY, because DXY has refused to make a lower low yet. So we then go by the assumption that this is a liquidity grab. I think the 1 hour also paints a bearish picture. Of course, we have a bullish leg, but with this current price action here in the last day or two, I don't really see anything convincing for me to believe that we're going to go bullish. Now, if price continues making this poor price action and goes on to break these highs, then so be it. But at the moment, I am anticipating possible shorts from this area because we are in the premium of that 4 hour leg. So just analysing the confluences on the side, 1 hour and 4 hour imbalance mitigated, come above these highs for buy side liquidity, SMC divergence showing possible strength on the DXY, and the DXY structure is bullish as well. So we're just waiting to see what's going to happen with price and the structure. We obviously have a small imbalance above still. Maybe price will want to go for it because that should fill the 4 hour imbalance completely, but we'll see. I do really like this trend line for us to target. So let's go down to the M15. We'll see what opportunities might be available for this morning. So currently my only issue is we've got no momentum yet. Not the momentum I'd want to see anyway to start executing any trades yet this morning. Now, as I mentioned, this trend line corrective price action with higher highs, higher lows is beautiful. We've got sell side liquidity below each one of these lows, right, to target all the way down to these previous lows. Price is coming off bearish from this area here, but nothing convincing yet that it looks like EU is going to change structure to go bearish. Same with DXY. DXY has this same structure going on here. We're yet to break any sort of 15-minute highs, internal highs or anything to look like, okay, we've got momentum in the market and we're going bullish. It's one of those weeks with not much red folder news, so sometimes price is very boring. I'll go down to the 5 minute for a moment just to see if price is any clearer. So yeah, you can see where price just isn't willing to go any lower at the moment. It's still making 5 minute higher highs too, but not in the way that I would want to trade it either. Obviously we have small order blocks here with inducement, but I'm not yet convinced, given the confluences we have, that I'm ready to go long here with EU. Price action in both directions just looks rather poor, so I want some momentum. So what would I be looking for today? Well, it would be nice if price did something like this, maybe come up, swept its highs again, right, for buy side liquidity, and then we've got some momentum, break down, close below these lows, and then we pull back to a higher time frame, order block and imbalance, to then go short to take all of these trend line sell side liquidity. So something like that I think would match the plan enough for me to execute, right? Buy side liquidity above here, break of structure around here, pull back creating possible inducement around here, set our order for a short, stop loss just above the highs, to target wherever you target for your strategy, right? So something like that, whether it's on the M5 or M15, M5 still holding structure. Okay, so I would want a clear break of structure to go short. Now it might be my mind that's not seeing the longs, because of course our order flow is bullish, but I really I'm not feeling these imbalances and order blocks and the structure of DXY to trade against that. So I'd rather just be patient, if I'm honest. So if price was to come up, sweep some internal buy side liquidity again and break down with more momentum, that's what I'd be looking for. I don't see any momentum in the market at the moment, even for the longs, so I'm not interested. So that's everything. I hope you gained value from that. I hope it was clear. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.